This is the news for today, Saturday, July 20th, 2024. Global tech chaos. CrowdStrike update disrupts banks, airlines, and more. CrowdStrike, a prominent cybersecurity firm, recently experienced a significant global outage due to an update that likely skipped critical checks. The update, meant to enhance security against hacking, contained faulty code that resulted in widespread tech outages. Global banks, airlines, hospitals, and government offices were affected, with users posting pictures of computers displaying error messages, known as blue screens of death. Experts believe the update likely skipped quality checks before deployment. Leading to the issue, the problem was identified in a file containing configuration information or signatures, which are code that detects specific types of malicious code or malware. The frequency of updates may have contributed to the lack of thorough testing. It is unclear how the faulty code got into the update and why it wasn't detected before release. The global impact of this outage reflects CrowdStrike's dominance, with over half of Fortune 500 companies and many government bodies using its software. This is the news for today, Saturday, July 20th, 2024. Trump and Vance rally in Michigan. Campaign comeback post-assassination attempt. Former President Donald Trump has returned to the campaign trail in Grand Rapids, Michigan, marking his first public event since surviving an assassination attempt. Accompanied by his new running mate, J.D. Vance, Trump addressed a large crowd of supporters, underscoring the resilience of his campaign. The rally was filled with fervent energy, as Trump reiterated key campaign promises and rallied against his political adversaries. Vance, a prominent figure in conservative circles, spoke about the importance of unity within the Republican Party and emphasized their shared vision for America. The event took place at the Van Andel Arena, which was filled to its 12,000-seat capacity. Trump addressed the shooting, crediting the news media for fair coverage and joking about a sign that may have saved his life. He also expressed sympathy for the family of the man who died and concern for the other two injured individuals. Trump's speech focused on his vision for the country, including his stance on tariffs and his commitment to protecting American workers. His running mate, J.D. Vance, was introduced by Trump as a champion of the working class. The rally comes as President Biden remains isolated due to COVID-19, and Trump's campaign seeks to capitalize on the momentum in key battleground states like Michigan. This event sets the stage for what promises to be a contentious and highly competitive election season, with both Trump and President Joe Biden hitting the campaign trail to solidify their positions. This is the news for today, Saturday, July 20th, 2024. DNC confirms virtual roll call to nominate Biden amid speculations. The Democratic National Committee, DNC, has reaffirmed its plan to formally nominate President Joe Biden through a virtual roll call vote between August 1st and August 7th. This decision comes despite concerns from some Democrats who are curious about alternative scenarios. The virtual ballot will show President Biden as the presumptive and only qualified nominee, but delegates will have the option to mark their own choices. The DNC's Convention Rules Committee met virtually to discuss the virtual roll call process, which is necessary to avoid litigation in Ohio. The state requires major parties to have a presidential nominee by 90 days before the presidential election, which falls on August 7th this year. Outside groups have been educating delegates about other scenarios, including the possibility of an open convention. However, President Biden and his campaign have reiterated that there are no plans to step down. The virtual roll call vote is expected to take place between August 1st and August 7th. The DNC's convention committee leaders and staffers have provided more details about the process, which aims to ensure that President Biden's nomination is certified in time to meet the necessary deadlines. This is the news for today, Saturday, July 20th, 2024. Flames ravage historic First Baptist Dallas Church. Community and resilience amid devastation. The historic First Baptist Dallas Church has been severely damaged by a massive fire, leaving church members and the community in deep grief. The fire broke out unexpectedly, engulfing the historic sanctuary and reducing much of the cherished structure to ashes. Authorities reported that although the building suffered extensive damage, No casualties were reported. The fire resulted in the tragic loss of countless memorable moments and artifacts held dear by congregation members. Witnesses described scenes of devastation as the church's iconic spire collapsed, a sight that deeply impacted the local community. Efforts by Dallas Fire Rescue were directed at containing the blaze and preventing further spread to adjacent structures in the downtown area. As investigations into the cause of the fire continue, community members are coming together, offering support and sharing memories of the historic site. First Baptist Dallas, known for its significant role in the local Christian community, served as a cornerstone for numerous family events and community gatherings. The fire has prompted an outpouring of support, with local leaders and neighboring churches offering assistance and solidarity. Plans for rebuilding the sanctuary are already being discussed, reaffirming the church's resilience and commitment to its congregation. As the investigation proceeds, the community remains united, reflecting on the legacy of First Baptist Dallas and looking forward to its eventual restoration. The incident underscores the importance of the historic church as not just a physical structure, but as a symbol of faith, unity, and community. This is the news for today, Saturday, July 20th, 2024. Outbreak alert. Listeria linked to deli meats causes fatalities and hospitalizations across the U.S. A severe listeria outbreak has emerged, resulting in 2 fatalities and the hospitalization of 28 individuals. Health officials indicate that the outbreak is closely linked to deli meats, particularly those that have been pre-sliced. The outbreak spans across 12 states in the United States, with specific clusters of illness reported in New York, where at least 7 cases have been confirmed. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, has issued a public health alert, cautioning consumers about the potential dangers of consuming certain deli meats that may be contaminated with the bacteria Listeria monocytogenes. The contamination appears to be most prevalent in meats sliced and packaged at deli counters within various retail locations. The CDC is advising those at higher risk, such as pregnant women, newborns, older adults, and individuals with weakened immune systems, to avoid consuming meats sliced at deli counters unless they are reheated to an internal temperature of 165 degrees Fahrenheit or until steaming hot, and to practice enhanced food safety measures. The investigation is ongoing, and health officials are working to identify specific sources and mitigate further spread of the outbreak. This is the news for today, Saturday, July 20th, 2024, remembering Sheila Jackson Lee. A legacy of advocacy and influence in Congress. Texas Representative Sheila Jackson Lee has passed away at the age of 74. Known for her staunch advocacy of progressive causes, Jackson Lee served in Congress for nearly 3 decades, representing the 18th Congressional District of Texas. Her career was marked by a commitment to civil rights, healthcare reform, and social justice. Born in Queens, New York, Jackson Lee graduated from Yale University and later earned a law degree from the University of Virginia. Before her tenure in Congress, she served on the Houston City Council and as a municipal judge. She was a prominent member of the House Judiciary and Homeland Security Committees, where she tackled issues ranging from immigration reform to gun control. Jackson Lee was first elected to Congress in 1994 and gained a reputation for her passionate speeches and unwavering support for minority communities. She was a fierce advocate for women and children, supporting the Paycheck Fairness Act and the Pregnant Workers Fairness Act. She also introduced several key legislative initiatives, including the Sentencing Reform Act and the George Floyd Law Enforcement Trust and Integrity Act. The Congresswoman's death leaves a significant void in Texas politics. Questions are already arising about who will succeed her in office. Plans for her memorial and how her legislative duties will be managed are yet to be announced. In her time in office, Sheila Jackson Lee was not just a politician, but a fierce advocate for the many underrepresented voices in her community. She leaves behind a legacy of dedication and advocacy, influencing many up-and-coming politicians in progressive circles. This is the news for today, Saturday, July 20th, 2024. escalating tensions, Israel, Hamas, and the stalled ceasefire talks. Ceasefire talks between Israel and Hamas continue to stall, leading to an escalation in violence. In central Gaza, 13 Palestinians were killed as Israeli airstrikes intensified. The situation remains volatile, with international efforts to broker a ceasefire facing significant challenges. The humanitarian crisis in Gaza continues to worsen, with thousands of displaced Palestinians seeking shelter in makeshift camps. The conflict has also drawn in regional actors, including Iran, which supports Hamas. The ongoing violence has resulted in significant casualties on both sides, with the death toll rising daily. The international community continues to call for a peaceful resolution, but the prospects for a lasting ceasefire remain uncertain. This is the news for today, Saturday, July 20, 2024. Narrow escape for Team USA against South Sudan as LeBron James clinches win. In a thrilling basketball encounter, Team USA narrowly edged out South Sudan with a final score of 101-100. The U.S. team, heavily favored to win, found themselves challenged by the formidable South Sudanese squad. Led by star player LeBron James, Team USA managed to avoid an upset thanks to a critical layup by James late in the match. Despite being projected to dominate, the American team struggled to maintain their lead throughout the game. South Sudan showed remarkable resilience and skill, keeping the score close and putting immense pressure on Team USA. As the clock wound down, it was James's decisive move that secured their victory, preventing what could have been a shocking defeat. This game serves as a wake-up call for Team USA as they prepare for the upcoming Paris 2024 Olympics. The narrow victory highlights the need for the team to address challenges and improve performance in future matches. The close call has given both players and coaching staff much to ponder as they plan their strategy going forward. In the aftermath, discussions have centered around the lessons learned from this encounter, particularly the importance of not underestimating any opponent. With Paris 2024 on the horizon, the performance against South Sudan could prove pivotal in refining tactics and maintaining focus. The U.S. basketball team will undoubtedly look to strengthen its resolve and avoid similar situations in future competitions. This is the news for today, Saturday, July 20, 2024. Rising support for Kamala Harris, a Democratic frontrunner in the making. Democratic consensus is solidifying around Vice President Kamala Harris as a potential replacement for President Joe Biden, should he decide to step aside. Prominent figures within the Democratic Party have increasingly indicated their support for Harris, emphasizing her readiness to take on the presidential role. This growing support is being driven by mounting questions about Biden's age and stamina to continue leading the country. Harris's record as a former California Attorney General and U.S. Senator is being closely examined as an indicator of her aptitude for higher office. During her tenure in these roles, Harris has developed a reputation for her firm stance on legal and social justice issues. Her track record of championing progressive policies is seen as aligning well with the current Democratic agenda, making her an even more compelling candidate. In addition to this, the Democratic Party seems to be narrowing its options, with some potential running mates already ruling themselves out, further consolidating support around Harris. As the presidential race heats up, the possibility of Harris stepping into the president's shoes is increasingly seen not merely as a contingency plan, but as a strategic move that could galvanize the party's base. This is the news for today, Saturday, July 20, 2024. Nadal's comeback trail peaks at Swedish Open ahead of Paris Olympics. Rafael Nadal has reached his first final since the 2022 French Open, advancing to the championship match at the Swedish Open. Nadal managed to overcome a tough challenge from Đuje Ivković, rallying to win after a stiff start. This victory marks a significant milestone for the Spaniard, who has been working his way back to form in anticipation of the Paris Olympics. Nadal's journey to the final was not without its trials. In a thrilling three-set match, he showcased his resilience and experience, ultimately securing his spot in the final. This achievement is a testament to Nadal's determination and skill, as he has battled through injuries and setbacks over the past year. The Swedish Open final provides Nadal with a crucial opportunity to gauge his readiness ahead of the Paris Olympics. His performance in Bastad could serve as a confidence booster as he eyes further success on the international stage. Fans and analysts alike will be closely watching Nadal's performance, as it could signal a return to peak form for one of tennis's most celebrated players, and just might set the stage for what could be a thrilling final and possibly more triumphs in the upcoming Paris Olympics. This is the news for today, Saturday, July 20th, 2024. ICJ rules against Israel, a call for immediate withdrawal from occupied Palestinian territories. The International Court of Justice, ICJ, has ruled that Israel's presence in the occupied Palestinian territories is illegal under international law and should end as rapidly as possible. This landmark decision addresses Israel's activities in the West Bank and East Jerusalem, regions internationally recognized as occupied territories. The court's decision not only deems the current presence of Israeli forces unlawful, but also highlights the necessity for an expedited withdrawal to restore adherence to international legal standards. This ruling marks a significant moment in the long-standing Israeli-Palestinian conflict, potentially impacting future diplomatic and legal actions within the region. The ICJ's judgment reinforces the long-held positions by many in the international community and human rights organizations calling for an end to Israel's occupation policies. This is the news for today, Saturday, July 20th, 2024. Drone strike in Tel Aviv by Houthi rebels raises global alarm, analyzing strategic implications and responses. A drone strike on Tel Aviv, claimed by the Houthi militia, has raised strategic threat concerns and drawn global attention. The attack, which killed one person and wounded several others, highlights the dilemmas Israel faces in responding to such incidents. The Houthi rebels, aligned with Iran, have stepped up attacks against Israel and Western targets, claiming solidarity with Palestinians in the Gaza war. The strike, which used an upgraded Iranian-made Samad-3 drone, has sparked fears of further fallout from the Gaza war. Israel's military has increased air patrols and is reviewing air defenses, while the country remains on high alert. The incident has also drawn international attention, with the United States and Britain condemning the attack. This is the news for today, Saturday, July 20th, 2024. Cyprus at 50. Erdogan's impact on division and peace talks. Cyprus marks 50 years of division, with Turkish President Erdogan's stance affecting talks. The island remains divided between the Greek Cypriot Republic of Cyprus and Turkish Northern Cyprus. This anniversary commemorates the pivotal moment when Turkish forces intervened following a coup by Greek Cypriot supporters of unity with Greece. For Greek Cypriots, this event symbolizes tragedy, loss of life, and displacement. In contrast, Turkish Cypriots view it as liberation from Greek dominance. Despite numerous rounds of UN-mediated negotiations, a peace deal based on a federal system remains elusive. President Erdogan has ruled out such a plan, advocating for a two-state agreement instead. This stance has been rejected by Greek Cypriots. The European Union has called for both parties to demonstrate sincere dedication to a peace settlement consistent with the UN-backed scheme for a federated island. As the anniversary is marked, both sides reflect on their histories and the ongoing quest for a unified Cyprus. This is the news for today, Saturday, July 20th, 2024. Xi Jinping mobilizes all-out rescue after devastating bridge collapse in Shaanxi amid severe storms. Chinese President Xi Jinping has called for an all-out effort to rescue survivors following a devastating highway bridge collapse in Shaanxi province. The disaster, which struck amid heavy flooding and severe storms, has resulted in at least 11 confirmed deaths, with dozens more still missing. Reports indicate the collapse was triggered by intense weather conditions that have swept through the region, significantly hampering rescue operations. Authorities have deployed numerous emergency responders and resources to the scene, working tirelessly to locate and assist survivors. In his address, Xi emphasized the importance of saving lives and reducing further casualties, urging rapid and thorough action from all relevant agencies. The President's directive highlights the government's prioritization of disaster relief and its commitment to mitigating the impact of natural calamities. The highway collapse adds to a growing list of weather-related incidents that have brought severe disruption and tragedy to the area. As rescue efforts continue, the nation remains focused on providing aid to the affected families and ensuring the safety of those still trapped. The collapse not only underscores the vulnerabilities in the country's infrastructure, but also the urgent need for improved disaster preparedness and response measures. This catastrophic event has cast a shadow over the region, with the government facing increasing pressure to address the aftermath and prevent future occurrences of similar tragedies. This is the news for today, Saturday, July 20, 2024. Bangladesh curfew and unrest. Student protests lead to shoot-on-sight orders amid escalating violence. Bangladesh has imposed a strict curfew accompanied by a shoot-on-sight order in an effort to curb widespread student protests following the death toll surging past 100. The unrest stems from student-led demonstrations initially sparked by grievances over alleged government corruption and injustices in the job quota system. Tensions have escalated as protesters have clashed with law enforcement, leading to violent confrontations across the nation. The government's move to impose such drastic measures has drawn significant condemnation from human rights organizations and international observers, who are urging restraint and dialogue. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's administration faces mounting pressure as opposition parties rally in support of the students, criticizing the government's authoritarian response. Dhaka, the capital, remains eerily quiet under the curfew, with streets deserted and businesses shuttered. Authorities state the curfew and shoot-on-sight orders are necessary to restore order and prevent further casualties. The situation remains tense as citizens grapple with the unprecedented restrictions and the growing death toll, leaving the future of Bangladesh's stability uncertain. This is the news for today, Saturday, July 20, 2024. Alicia Gray makes WNBA history with dual skills and three-point contest wins. Dream star Alicia Gray of the Atlanta Dream made history in the WNBA by winning both the skills competition and the three-point contest. This achievement makes Gray the first player in WNBA history to win both events in the same year. The skills competition tests players on their dribbling, passing, and shooting abilities, while the three-point contest focuses on shooting accuracy from beyond the arc. Gray's impressive performance showcased her versatility and skill on the court. This marks a significant milestone in her career, and the league and Gray's impressive performance earned her a substantial payout, with her prize money exceeding half her yearly salary. Gray's victories have been widely celebrated, not only for their immediate rewards, but also for setting a new standard for excellence in the WNBA. These wins further solidify Alicia Gray's reputation as one of the league's most formidable competitors, and her dual victories are a testament to her skill, dedication, and impact on women's basketball.